dear students, welcome to my class. Today's session is Anne's Confession, Module 2. Children, this is a story about three people, Matthew, Marilla and Anne. Matthew and Marilla are brothers and sisters. Their age is in late 50s. They live in a farm called Green Gables. This story is set out in a small Canadian village. Now the age of Matthew and Marilla is in 50s and that is why they are getting old. They want to adopt a boy who would help them in the farms. But there happens to be a confusion because of which a girl named Anne Shirley joins them. Anne is a very lively and vivacious girl. She easily makes friends at the farm and also at the school. So let's see what happens in the story Anne's Confession. One fine day, Marilla is very angry and surprised. She's not angry, she's surprised. Why is she surprised? She's very much worried about something. What is the tension that she is having? She has lost her expensive brooch. She has searched for the particular brooch in the whole house, but she can't find it. Children, do you know the meaning of brooch? Brooch means an expensive jewel which has a pin behind it, with the help of which it can be tucked with a coat or any other dress. It is called as brooch. Okay, so she asks Anne, what is Anne doing? Anne is shelling the peas. She says, no, I haven't seen. On that, repeatedly, Marilla asks Anne repeatedly, has she taken the brooch? But repeatedly, the answer of Anne is the same. She says, I have seen it. I put on it in order to see how it looks, but I kept it back in its place. Now Marilla asks, where did you keep it? She says, I kept it on the table, but the brooch is not found. Now Marilla becomes even more strict with Anne. She says, go to the room and you will not come out of the room until you have confessed that you have taken the brooch and lost it. Now Anne is worried. She goes to the room and she keeps on sobbing the whole evening. In the evening, Marilla comes to her and says that tomorrow I have to go for a picnic. Please let me go to the picnic. But Marilla doesn't listen to her. She says, you will stay in the room until you are ready to make a confession that you took my brooch and you lost it. So next day, let us see what happens. Wednesday morning, dawn bright and fair. Perfect for the picnic. Now the morning is very bright and fair and it is a perfect weather for a picnic. When Marilla took Anne's breakfast up to her, she found her sitting straight up on her bed. She looked quite determined. So Anne has brought breakfast for Marilla has brought breakfast for Anne, and she wants to ask something again about the brooch. Now let's see what happens. Anne is very much determined. Marilla, I am ready to confess, said Anne. Anne says, I am ready to confess. Marilla laid down her tray. I took the brooch. Now she is saying, I took the brooch, as if repeating a lesson she had learned. I didn't mean to take it when I went in, but it looks so beautiful. I thought I could put it back before you came home. So now Anne says that when she was not at home, when Marilla was not at home, she had taken the brooch and she thought that she would keep it back in its place. When I was going over the bridge across the lake, I took the brooch off to have another look at it. So she said, when I had gone to the lake, I had taken your brooch and I took it off in order to see how it looked. Oh, how it sparkled in the sunlight. So the brooch was sparkling or shining in the sunlight. And then when I was leaning over the bridge, It just slipped through my fingers. So it just slipped through her fingers. The brooch slipped through her fingers and went down, down, all purply, sparkling, and sang, "That is the best I can do at confessing, Marilla." She says, when I went over the bridge, it went down in the waters. Marilla felt hot with anger. "Anne, this is terrible," she said, trying to speak calmly. "You are the wickedest girl I ever heard of." So now Marilla is feeling very cross with Anne, and she says, "You are the most wicked thing I have ever met." "Yes, I suppose I am," agreed Anne. "Will you punish me right away, Marilla, because I would like to go to the picnic?" "You will go no picnic today, Anne Shirley. This shall be your punishment." So Anne says, "You can give me the punishment. I will complete my punishment very soon, and then I would go for the picnic." Anne jumped up and grabbed Marilla's hand. "Oh, Marilla. Oh, Marilla, I must go to picnic. That is why I confessed. Please punish me any other way you like. Think of the ice cream, Marilla. I never have a chance to ice cream again." So now she says, "I will never have an ice cream. If you want to give me punishment in my entire life, I would not eat ice cream. But please let me go to the picnic." Marilla let go of Anne's hand, saying, "You need not plead, Anne. You are not going to the picnic, and that's final." Now Anne says, you will not go to the picnic, and this is final. Marilla returned to kitchen, where she kept herself busy. She washed the dishes and fed the hens. Then she remembered that there was a small tear in her black shawl. She decided to mend it. So now what happened? She returned to the kitchen and she was doing her household chores. And she just remembered that her black shawl had a small tear. As Marilla lifted the shawl, she noticed something glitter and sparkle. She snatched at it with a gasp. It was the amethyst brooch. So now we have come to know that Anne had not taken the brooch at all. Anne was there with the brooch was there with the Marilla's shawl itself. Then why did our Anne lie? Why did Anne lie? What does this mean? Here is my brooch that I thought was at the bottom of the lake. I remember now. When I took off my shawl on Monday afternoon, I let it on for a minute. I suppose the brooch caught in it somehow. Well, so now Marilla has understood everything. She had kept her shawl near the brooch, and that's why the brooch caught the shawl. Then Marilla went looking for Anne, and she saw she had been crying. "Anne Shirley," said Marilla, "I have just found my brooch hanging on my black lace shawl. Now I want to know what that story you told me this morning meant." So now, because she has found out the truth, she looks for Anne and she asked him, "Why did you tell me the lie?" "You said you would keep me here until I confessed," answered Anne. "And so I confessed because I wanted to go to the picnic. I thought of a confession last night and made it as interesting as I could." So Anne says that I made a confession. I told you a lie that I had taken the brooch and lost it because you said you will keep me in the room unless I confessed. And I wanted to go for the picnic. That is why I told you a lie. Marilla had to laugh. Children, if you see here, if we draw a sketch of the character of Marilla, she seems to be a very rude and very stern kind of lady, very sharp kind of lady. But now, because of the innocence of Anne, she is moved. Marilla had to laugh. Anne, I was wrong. I should not have thought you lied. Of course, it was not right for me to make you confess for a thing you had not done. So if you will forgive me, I will forgive you. And now get yourself ready for the picnic. So now Marilla is not feeling cross with Anne, and in fact she is amazed by the innocence which Anne has. And she says, it is my fault also. I should not have forced you this much, and I made you confess for a crime that you had not done at all. You had no clue about the crime. Anne flew up like a rocket. She washed herself while Marilla filled a basket for her. So, what did Marilla do now? Marilla filled a basket for Anne. That night, a very happy, tired out Anne returned to Green Gables. So now, after the picnic, Anne is very happy. So that's why they are saying that night, a very happy Anne returned to Green Gables. Children, over here they have used the word a for a person. It's a grammar application here, children. We can say a sad Anne, a happy Anne, or an excited Anne. So over here they are out of so many modes, they are pointing out at one mode. That is why they have written a very happy, tired out Anne returned to Green Gables. So a is for the adjectives here. Oh Marilla, I have had a perfectly scrumptious time. Scrumptious is a new word I learned today. I heard Mary Alice will use it. Everything went out lovely. We had tea, and then Mr. Harmon Andrews took us for a row on the lake, 6 of us at a time. And Jane Andrews nearly fell overboard. Children, what is the meaning of overboard here? Means to fall into the lake. She saw leaning out to pick water lilies, and if Mr. Andrews had not caught her just in the nick of time, she would have fallen in. And we had ice creams. Words fail me. Children, what do you mean by words fail me? That she had enjoyed so much at the picnic. She enjoyed so much at the picnic that she doesn't have any words to express how the picnic went, how she enjoyed. She doesn't have any words to express. I cannot describe that ice cream. Now she is saying I had ice cream. I cannot even describe how tasty, how lovely that ice cream was. Marilla admitted to Matthew that evening. So I made a mistake, but I have learned a lesson. And although Anne's confusion was a lie. So Marilla accepts her mistake in front of brother as well. And she says that I was so rude, or I was so mean on Anne that she had to confess for a crime that she had not done. So what was Anne's confession? Anne's confession was a lie. It's not as bad as the other lie would have been. That child is hard to understand, but no house will ever be dull when she is around. She says that no house will ever be dull. So what do we come to know about Anne through this, children? Anne is a very lively and vivacious girl. In the beginning also I mentioned, Anne is so jovial that when she came to Green Gables, she made friends at the farm as well as at the school. Children, now let us quickly revise whatever has happened in this particular lesson. Anne is a very lively girl, and she came to stay with brother and sister whose names are Matthew and Marilla. The age of Matthew and Marilla are into 50s, and that is why they needed a boy who would help them with their chores. But there was some miscommunication, so instead of a boy, a girl named Anne Shirley stayed with them. Okay, now Anne is a very lively girl, and she made a lot of friends at her school and also at the farm. This particular story is about a confession which Anne made to Marilla. Marilla had lost her brooch. She looked for the brooch in the entire house, but she could not find it. She repeatedly asked Anne if she had taken it or if she had lost it. But every time Anne said no. And Marilla was thinking that because Anne had lost it, she was telling a lie. But was it really true? We found out in the chapter that Anne had to make a confession to Marilla that she had taken the brooch, even though she had not taken the brooch. Why? Because Marilla had given her a condition that unless and until she says that she has taken the brooch, she will not allow her to get out of her room. Anne badly wanted to go to the picnic, and that is why she made a lie confession. She made a confession which was a lie, and she told Marilla that she had gone to the brooch, and when she took out the brooch to have a look at it at the bridge, it fell down the river. Now Marilla is very cross with Anne, and she tells her, your punishment is that you won't go to the picnic. Then Marilla goes on with her household chores. Suddenly she sees that her black shawl she is supposed to mend her black shawl. When she takes the black shawl, she finds the brooch tucked with it. So now she has realized that the confession which Anne made was not true at all. She had lied, and she goes to Anne. She says, what is this? I have found my brooch in my shawl. Why did you lie to me? She says that she wanted to go for a picnic. Now Marilla is no more cross with Anne, and she says she can go for the picnic. After coming from picnic, she describes the picnic to Marilla, and she says, I have described it, but words fail me. The kind of enjoyment, the fun that I made, I cannot share with you. It was beyond my words, she says. And later on, Marilla admits to her brother also that she had made a mistake by making Anne confess for a crime that she had not done. Thank you for listening.